Communication in love. For a day is coming surely. I've been waiting and waiting, but the wait has been so great, in great mass of weight within my own body. So it's a great load, but this kind of a load which is upon my shoulders will one day give me a rest. Will I rest to think of you? Will I rest each and every time to imagine, to sometimes fantasize, or sometimes to keep on dreaming and redreaming about you? But the day and the time is ticking away, yet you are coming so close. Did I know? Did she know? Did we know? Or do we know? Those are the questions. Those still remains as the questions. We still came without invitation and still came again without a welcome in anyone's heart, but all together with each and everyone who was still surrounding the same kind of a man who was still waiting and waiting for the beloved one. Yes, the beloved one is the very individual, the very kind of a female who firstly spoke during the first kind of a beginning statements of this story of love. A communication in love. Today I am sending you to the furthest part of the world, to the furthest part of beyond the borders. There rested a certain kind of a female whom I love so much. So I say to you, you go therefore and tell her what is in my heart. And so the message. Listened so attentively like a student who is next to a teacher. In response, yes, my king, yes, your worship, yes, my lord, I am listening. Let I go there and tell her. You go there and tell her that the king, the same king in the kingdom, the same king in the same kind of a palace, says to her that he is prepared and he will use everything in his own shoulders, will still remain as his own authority. The very kind of a huge kind of a weapon will still remains as his own arms to be with you as a kind of a great kind of a nation, but still again he is resting and waiting for you. Yes, my king, I will get there and tell her exactly what you have already said. And again, I am saying I will surely open my own mouth and still again using my own tongue and again trying by all means to copy or to imitate the voice of yours, but I will deliver the message. And so the king smiled in a great kind of a smile, like a great kind of a nation that has already defeated its own enemies. And the king again smiled with his own forehead, so much shining, like a great kind of a business tycoon who has already won in the great kind of a business investment. And again, he resumed. You go there, my messenger. You tell the mistress that your great kind of a king sleeps not in his own bed, and his own head lies not in his own pillow. And again, your own kind of a king does not have any kind of a pillowcase to wipe his own tears, being the tears driven by the power of feelings. Oh, my Lord, you have already touched my heart, said the messenger, while he again he was trying to somehow to consume the same message. You listen, my messenger. You go and tell the mistress that your king is still in the dreams, but the dreams of nothing, but the dreams of being with her. And each and every time, the very kind of a chest that I possess as a king surely will be the kingdom of hers. And the messenger smiled. He felt the great kind of a message. And he smiled again and said, I'm listening, my king. Yes, I am now emphasizing, I'm saying, you go and change not any word, but tell my mistress that I am almost now stressed, and I am stressing this to you, that the queen herself, the mistress, she is going to be my queen, and this kind of a kingdom is not a kingdom without the mistress, and still again, it is so empty without the same queen, and surely she means a great value, more valuable than any value to me. Again, the messenger smiled and shook his own head in a great kind of a happiness. And the king said, this is all what I can say for now. Go and tell her. The messenger just stood up and looked at the same kind of a king who was still seated on his great kind of a throne, and again still somehow thinking and rethinking, but still remaining feeling that maybe when she hears the message, she will surely somehow germinate great kinds of feelings, or surely somehow great kind of love will surely mushroom within her own heart, and still again the messenger still says, I am leaving, let I go. And again, the same kind of a king said, go you farewell. And he left the same kind of the premises. Yes, my mistress, I am before you. I am sorry to raise my voice, but I am humble in saying, my only king in the kingdom of this nation, the same king who still remains seated on his throne, but again, right now, he sent me to you. I tell you, my mistress, yes, you haven't given me a great kind of an opportunity to say a word, but your attentiveness means more than anything, or gives me a green light to go ahead, to do nothing but to expose, to display the message in your own eardrums. And the queen, meaning the mistress, listened and smiled, looking so in great kind of admiration of the same kind of a messenger who still had so much confidence within his own heart and so much kind of full commitment with the same kind of a message that he was about to deliver, but again being given a kind of a few instructions, a few kind of a deliverance of the same message will still come as an instruction, but not as instruction as such, but a message instructed to the same kind of a mistress who still again without any stress or stressing anything listened so attentively. Yes, I am a messenger. My king in the kingdom has said, I must tell you, I must let you know that he sleeps not in his own bed, and again his own head lies not in his own pillow, because each and every time whatever comes is not any kind of a sleep, but he still sleeps unopening and still opening his own eyes, searching and seeking for love, but he breathes and smells your presence in everywhere and in anyhow in the palace, which means he loves and he wishes to be with you. Like a hunting kind of a shepherd, he is like a shepherd dog that somehow goes and still looks and searches and brings everything in a good kind of an harmless kind of a scene on which he still remains as harmless as he is, as harmless as a dove, but still expecting to be with you, for he told me to say to you that he is harmless and he will keep you in great kind of a care. And the queen smiled. He smiled, showing a great kind of eyes. The eyes so muchly opened like the eyes of a cage. And still again, somewhere in her own left eye, a tear could be seen dropping down. It being a tear of nothing but a tear of a piercing word of love that somehow has gone through her own heart. It being the words of a great kind of a king who cares so much more than anything but to give not any kind of a hurt to anybody or injury to anyone, but to the same mistress. And the same kind of messenger resumes. My king instructed me to let you know that you belong not in this kind of a place where you are dwelling, but your place is in the same kind of a kingdom. It is an empty space that is needed to be filled by you, by nobody, but by yourself. And he loves nobody more than you, but he loves you more than anybody. And again, your body is worth more than anything. Each and every time he thinks of you and he thinks of your cleanliness, he always smiles within his own heart and wishing that you are washing your body for himself. And he says to you that your body, the body that you takes care of, the body that you wash each and every time, you are doing it for him. And that is his own dream, and that is his own wish. And he can say, I will never live to love you, but you will live any other kind of a love, but you'll never abandon any other thought of thinking of you. And that is the time when the queen again moved so slowly, like a hunting kind of a kid nearing a bird which is about a distance short. But again, next and nearer, and to the nearest kind of a messenger who still remained perplexed by the same movement of a same mistress. And again, the mistress balances with the same messenger hugging him. And again, the messenger feels that the mistress is now weak. And the mistress says, you go therefore and let my king know that surely his own words have touched my heart. It has come as a response to my prayers. You tell the loving kind of a king that I've got so much great kind of trust in his own words. No matter how they are, but they've got so much great value within my own heart. And right now, as I am already, my own heart is already melted with love. And again, I am in deep, great kind of need of somebody. Not anybody, but somebody like him. Not somebody like him, but somebody exactly himself. You go therefore and tell the king that beyond the blue mountains, yes, it can look as blue as it is, near the rivers, and near again the same kind of rocks, and again near the same kind of the plantations which are surrounding the same kind of a palace, and all together they remain as a signal that there is a palace. Everything seems so good, decorating, and again I am still waiting, and I'll be waiting in this kind of a feeling that I have, though I'll remain decorating the environment that I am in. But again, his own words will still have a great kind of an impact that already I have been already drilled in my own feelings to another level, and the level still remain, as I have said, so deep as it is, deeper than any ocean, and still again I am in full of love, of full more than any other kind of a fountain of love. And altogether again, you tell the king that his own chest will be a good kind of my own kingdom to lie on, and again his own deepest voice is surely a great command to whom I am, and again his romantic kind of a body still remain as romantic as a champagne. And altogether, please, you tell him that your mistress has already been in another level of love, and she will still remain in great kind of love. And altogether, I am saying, my messenger, you transport the same message, carry the same message, not with your own hands, but with your own memory, and altogether again with your own tongue, using your own voice, and the same kind of words you tell him. I thank you so much, the messenger.